The story begins with a team of warriors known as the Power Rangers, sent to Earth to protect the powerful Geo-crystals. However, the Green Ranger, Rita, betrayed the team and tried to take the crystals' power for herself. One by one, the Rangers were defeated. Meanwhile, Zordon, the Red Ranger, used his abilities to protect the Geo-crystals. He hid both the Rangers' powers and the Geo-crystals deep within the Earth so that future protectors could discover them. Moments later, Rita appeared before her former leader and demanded to know the location of the Geo-crystals. But Zordon told her it was already too late. He then ordered his robotic assistant, Alpha 5, to send a massive meteor toward the planet. The powerful impact destroyed Rita's staff and threw her into the depths of the ocean. As a result, Zordon and the dinosaurs living on Earth were wiped out. However, the Geo-crystals remained safe for millions of years. The story then shifts to the present day. A boy named Jason Scott, along with his friend, plays a prank on a high school student. They release a live bull inside the locker room. Soon after, the police are called. Jason tries to escape in his father's truck, but gets into an accident on the road. Fortunately, he is not seriously injured. However, he is placed under house arrest and given a full year of detention for his actions. The next day at school, he meets Kimberly, a cheerleader he secretly likes. We are also introduced to a highly intelligent boy named Billy, who is being bullied. Jason steps in and tells the bully to fight him instead. When the bully tries to attack, Jason quickly dodges and slaps him across the face. He then warns him not to harass others again. His actions impress both Billy and Kimberly. After school, Jason is heading home when he runs into Billy. Billy thanks him and asks if he wants to hang out. Jason refuses and shows him the electronic ankle monitor placed on him by the police. Billy then suggests making a deal. He says he can disable the monitor if Jason agrees to take him to the old mining area. In return, Jason can use his car and drive freely for the night. Jason agrees, and shortly after he arrives at Billy's house. Billy successfully disables the monitor within seconds using his computer. Now free, Jason takes Billy to the mines to keep his promise. Inside the mines, Billy asks Jason for some help. However, Jason initially refuses and decides to leave with the car. But as he walks away, he begins to feel guilty. He turns back, deciding to help Billy after all. At that moment, he sees Kimberly jumping into a river near the mountain. When she doesn't come back up for a long time, Jason fears that she might have drowned. He rushed to save her, but Kimberly came out of the water moments later. Surprised to see him, she asked what he was doing there. Meanwhile, Billy had planted a small explosive inside the mine. As soon as it detonated, the walls of the mine began collapsing rapidly. Hearing the explosion, Jason and Kimberly ran toward the source and found Billy alive. A short while later, Zach and Trini, who were nearby, arrived to check the noise. Together, they discovered a large rock containing 5 mysterious coins. Zach used Billy's hammer to break the rock and take out the coins. Each coin began to glow with a different color. Suddenly, they heard the sound of police sirens. Jason told everyone to run to the car immediately. Billy drove at high speed to escape. As they sped across a field, they noticed a train approaching the tracks. Jason said that if they crossed in time, they could escape the police. However, the car was not fast enough, and the train crashed directly into them. At the same time, some fishermen were out at sea. Something unusual got caught in their net. When they pulled it up, they found a human-like body that looked like it had been dead for years. Confused, they decided to hand it over to the authorities. The next day, when officials examined the body at the port, they realized it was still alive. It turned out to be Rita, the same villain from years ago. After regaining consciousness, she attacked and eliminated everyone around her. Meanwhile, Jason, Billy, and Kimberly woke up in their rooms. They were shocked to realize they had survived the train accident without any injuries. They still had the strange coins with them, proving that everything was real. At school, Billy was confronted again by the same bully. The bully tried to twist his arm but failed to move it. He even tried hitting Billy but ended up hurting himself instead. After this incident, Billy started gaining attention at school. Later, Jason and Kimberly called Billy aside to talk. All 3 of them showed their coins, glowing in red, blue, and pink. Jason suggested that these coins might have special powers. To uncover the truth, they returned to the mine. There they met Zach and Trini, who had found the black and yellow coins. Both of them had also developed unusual strength. They began testing their abilities. With ease, they climbed up a steep mountain. The others followed and reached the top. Zach decided to test his strength further by jumping across a wide gap between 2 cliffs. Despite the danger, he made it across successfully. Inspired, Jason, Kimberly, and Trini followed and made the jump as well. When it was Billy's turn, he misjudged the distance and slipped, hanging off the edge. Everyone panicked for a moment. Then they heard Billy's voice from below, telling them it was safe to jump. One by one, they jumped down and landed in a hidden river inside a cave. Inside the cave, Billy discovered a narrow passage leading deeper within. After crossing through it, all 5 reached a hidden chamber. There they found a mysterious spaceship that had been buried for thousands of years. The structure was completely sealed. As Jason stepped closer, his coin began began to glow brightly. As he brought the coin closer to the ship, a gate suddenly opened. The 5 of them decided to explore what was inside. But suddenly, a robotic arm grabbed Trini. Zach rushed to save her, but a small android easily overpowered him. The robot introduced himself as Alpha 5. He was excited to see all 5 coins reunited and said they had been waiting a long time for new warriors. However, the group was confused and couldn't understand what was happening. Alpha asked them to stand on a platform ahead, explaining that he alone could not answer all their questions. Everyone stepped onto the platform. As it rose upward, the ship activated, and a panel opened in front of them, revealing a human-like face. Alpha explained that this was Zordon, their leader, who had once been a guardian of the universe millions of years ago. With Alpha's help, a portion of Zordon's consciousness had been preserved, and he now existed as the mind of the spaceship. Zordon was surprised that the coins had chosen such young individuals. However, there was no time to waste. He told them that the world was in great danger and asked for their help. Zordon explained the importance of the geocrystal. It was a powerful source of life energy hidden somewhere near their city. The duty of the Power Rangers was to ensure that it never fell into the wrong hands, as it could destroy the entire world. To make them understand the seriousness of the situation, Zordon placed them in a vision. In that vision, they saw their city completely destroyed. This destruction was caused by Rita. The vision also revealed that Rita was about to return, and only the Rangers could stop her from obtaining the crystal. But before that, they would need to learn how to control their abilities through a process called morphing. After hearing all this, Trini thought it was too unbelievable and decided to leave. Zach, Billy, and Kimberly followed her. Jason also started to walk away, but Zordon stopped him and said that the power coin had chosen him for a reason. He told Jason that he was once the Red Ranger, and now Jason must lead the new team and save the world before it was too late. This made Jason think deeply. He later met the others outside. Kimberly questioned whether any of this could actually be true. Despite his doubts, Jason decided to return the next day. He told the others he would wait for them at the top of the mountain. The next day, Jason arrived at the location and was glad to see that everyone else had shown up as well. Together, they returned to the ship. Zordon explained that to become Power Rangers, they needed to learn how to morph. He told them that an armor existed within their coins, but they could only access it if they truly connected with their powers. After explaining everything, Zordon instructed them to step onto a circular platform called the Morphin Grid. This platform would help connect their minds and bodies. They followed his instructions and stepped onto the platform. However, they failed to connect with each other. As a result, the system shut down. This made it clear that they were not ready to work as a team. Zordon ordered Alpha 5 to take them to the training arena, where they would go through intense practice even without their armor. Once there, a small android activated a simulator that created advanced holograms resembling Rita's soldiers, known as the Stone Warriors. Zach assumed they were harmless illusions and stepped into the arena first. However, he quickly realized that these holograms could physically attack. He was knocked out with a single strike. Alpha 5 explained that they would need serious training in the coming days. Only then would they stand even a small chance against Rita. Training began, but despite their enhanced abilities, they struggled to fight the holograms. Alpha 5 then taught them a technique where they had to dodge attacks, move behind their enemies, and throw them to the ground. Jason and the others practiced this method and gradually improved their fighting skills. However, none of them were able to morph. To motivate them, Alpha 5 showed them another part of the cave. There, he revealed the Zords, powerful machines inspired by ancient dinosaur creatures. He explained that these machines were their vehicles. However, they could only control them after learning how to morph, as the Zords could only be summoned while wearing their armor. After explaining everything, Alpha told them to continue their training, but Zach secretly decided to test his Zord on his own. As expected, he failed to control it, and the machine went out of control down the mountain. After a lot of effort, Zach managed to bring the Zord back. However, while returning, the machine nearly crushed his friends while crossing the mountain path. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Jason became angry at Zach's reckless behavior and confronted him. Zach refused to listen, and the two began fighting in front of everyone. Billy stepped in between them and told them to stop. At that moment, Billy's armor suddenly activated. Everyone was shocked and asked how he managed to do it, but even Billy did not understand what had just happened. After a few moments, the armor disappeared again. Then Zordon's voice echoed, telling Billy to try morphing again. Despite his efforts, he failed. This disappointed Zordon, and he ended the training for the day. He told them to leave, saying they were not ready to become Power Rangers. Hearing this, everyone walked away feeling discouraged. However, Jason returned to the ship to speak with Zordon. There, he overheard Zordon telling Alpha 5 that unless the team activated the Morphin Grid, he would not be able to return to life. Hearing this, Jason accused Zordon of using them for his own benefit. Zordon tried to explain, but Jason refused to listen. He said that he trusted his team and that they could fight without Zordon's help. Outside, Jason met the others. Zach then suggested that they go camping in the mountains together. Meanwhile, after regaining some of her strength, Rita went to a jewelry store and stole a large amount of gold. Using that gold, she repaired her staff. A police officer arrived and pointed a gun at her, demanding that she surrender. Rita refused without hesitation. The officer fired at her, but she recovered within seconds. She then used her powers to cause destruction and escaped with the remaining gold. Meanwhile, the 5 heroes were sitting around a campfire in the mountains. Zack suggested that maybe they couldn't morph because they lacked a strong connection. Until recently, they were not even friends. He proposed that they should get to know each other better. Zack began by sharing that he lived with his mother, who was seriously ill. He feared that he might lose her soon. Then Billy explained that he had come to the mountain because it was his late father's favorite place. His father had passed away years ago. One by one, the others also opened up about their lives. They realized that they all shared similar struggles and emotions. Later that night, while Trini was at home, Rita suddenly appeared in her room and attacked her. Without her armor, Trini was unable to fight back effectively. Instead of killing her, Rita offered her a deal. She said that if Trini betrayed her team and revealed the location of the Geo Crystal, she would spare her life. At the same time, Jason was resting when Kimberly approached him. She confessed that she felt responsible for the team's failure to morph. In the past, she had shared a private photo of a girl out of jealousy. Since then, she had been carrying guilt and felt unworthy of the power. Jason told her that people cannot live forever under the weight of their mistakes. He encouraged her to make things right and use her abilities for good. Soon after, Trini sent a message, and everyone gathered at the school. There, Trini told them about Rita's attack and her offer. Jason said that he would face Rita even without armor. The others agreed to stand with him. Trini then revealed that Rita was hiding at an old shipyard. The group went there, carrying simple weapons like iron rods and chains. Inside, they found a man tied to a chair. He turned out to be an innocent sailor captured by Rita. Suddenly, Rita appeared and attacked them with her staff. They tried to fight back, but she easily overpowered all of them. She then locked them inside a ship. Rita demanded to know the location of the Geo Crystal. Jason insisted that they did not know where it was. Enraged, Rita began hurting Zack to force them to talk. Billy begged her to stop. In desperation, he lied and said that he had found a map in the ship. According to him, the Geo Crystal was buried beneath a donut shop in the city. As soon as Rita heard this, she left immediately. Before leaving, she attacked Billy with her magic, sending him into the sea. After freeing themselves, Jason and the others rushed to pull Billy out of the water. When Kimberly checked him, she realized that he was no longer breathing. Jason was devastated and blamed himself for everything. He told his friends to take Billy to the spaceship, hoping that Zordon might be able to save him. When they reached the ship, they explained everything to Zordon. However, Zordon said there was nothing they could do. Hearing this, Jason was devastated. He blamed himself for everything and said it was his fault for pushing everyone to face Rita before they were ready. Kimberly tried to comfort him, saying that they had all made the decision together. It was not just his fault. She even said that if it were possible, she would sacrifice herself to bring Billy back. The others agreed with her. Suddenly, the Morphin Grid reacted and a portal opened. This meant that Zordon could return to his physical form. However, instead of restoring himself, Zordon chose to use that energy to bring Billy back to life. Moments later, Billy opened his eyes. Everyone was overjoyed to see him alive again. Jason thanked Zordon for his sacrifice. Now the group had truly become united. Jason said it was finally time to morph. This time, they successfully connected their minds and bodies and transformed into the Power Rangers. Meanwhile, Rita had gathered all the stolen gold and created a massive creature named Goldar. She also sent her stone warriors to destroy Zordon's ship. Jason and the team used the portal to return to the mountain, where Rita's army was waiting. Jason summoned a sword from his armor and began fighting the enemies. However, there were too many of them. Zack rushed into the cave and returned with his Zord. The Black Ranger's Zord unleashed its power and wiped out the enemies, but the battle was far from over. Goldar and Rita were now heading toward the city. Jason ordered everyone to summon their Zords. With their powers fully activated, they were ready. In the city, the Rangers split up to help evacuate civilians. During the chaos, Jason saw his father searching for him on the road. Goldar attacked, causing a car to flip over. Jason quickly exited his Zord and fought his way through the destruction. He pulled his father, Sam, out of the car and brought him to safety. Sam felt that the armored warrior seemed familiar, but Jason quickly returned to the fight. The Rangers attacked Goldar together, but he was extremely powerful. The Pink Ranger took a risk and threw Billy from her Zord toward Rita. As he fell, the Blue Ranger activated an energy blast from his Zord. The attack sent both Rita and Goldar crashing to the ground. Rita was briefly knocked unconscious, and the Stone Warriors lost their power and shattered. For a moment, it seemed like the battle was over, but Goldar stood up again and revived Rita. He struck the ground with immense force, revealing the hidden Geo Crystal beneath the donut shop. Rita moved to claim the crystal, but the Rangers stood in her way and fired their weapons. Despite their efforts, Goldar began destroying their Zords and pushed them toward the pit. Using all their strength, the Rangers launched another attack, but they were overwhelmed and fell into the pit. Just as Rita and Goldar were were about to take the crystal, something incredible happened. The Rangers' Zords combined into a single massive warrior. The Blue Ranger named it the Megazord. But Rita was not finished. She merged herself with Goldar, becoming an even more powerful enemy. The Megazord landed a series of powerful punches and kicks. Despite this, Goldar continued to fight relentlessly. Then the Red Ranger reminded everyone of the technique Alpha 5 had taught them. The Rangers dodged Goldar's attacks. Working together, they grabbed Goldar from behind and slammed him to the ground. The Megazord drew its twin swords and struck Goldar repeatedly. Finally, Goldar began to weaken and break apart. Rita, now powerless, started to apologize. The Red Ranger said, "Give us the green coin and surrender. We will spare your life." But Rita refused. In response, Jason struck her with the Megazord, just like he had done to the bully at school. The impact sent Rita flying into space like a rocket. Her body froze, drifting endlessly through the cosmos. With that, the battle was finally over. The Power Rangers had saved the city and the world. The people celebrated and thanked the heroes, unaware of their true identities. A few days later, everyone returned to their normal lives. The world was safe once more. Jason returned to the spaceship and left his sword there, promising to come back if the world was ever in danger. He then went back to school for detention, but this time he wasn't alone. His friends were with him. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel.